how this all came about.
You want the origin story?
Yeah, give me. I love that.
So
Me and Chris met on the grassy knoll.
it's pretty basic, really. I mean, I wish it was more exciting than it is. But no, walking through Stone Street, and dashing off somewhere, I can't remember where, and then saw one of the buskers and just stopped in my tracks, and it was Alex. I thought, this dude's good. This guy is really good, and I stayed for the whole hour, and watched his whole set and stuck some paper money in his case. And after he finished his set, I had a chat with him, and just we bounced the idea around of, actually, look, there's amazing buskers on the island, so many really good buskers on the island, and a lot of people only get to see them in short kind of
in passing.
And thought, wouldn't it be great to get a couple of the best buskers on the island together, and then I picked up the phone to the Ellen Vannon Hotel and said, hey, I got this crazy idea, let's get some buskers together, and that's where we are, really.
So there is a gig happening. We're going to talk about that in just a moment. But Alex, first of all, I just want to come to the fact that Chris said, I stood and watched him for an hour. Was that weird?
No, it wasn't. He was.
Use the microphone,
sorry,
musician.
Yeah, sorry,
You're the musician here.
Yeah,
Come
I should know this. I've done this enough times. It is rare that people do stop.
Exactly.
It's actually very flattering when people do stop. There was last week, there was a little crowd starting to form and a smuttering of applause, and I was like, this is brilliant. And they stay for a little bit, but yeah, it's rare that you do. But no, Chris was just kind of, you were filming a lot of the stuff, weren't you? And my friend sent me a message that Chris had put on Twitter, because Chris had put this message on Twitter, do you ever stop and watch the buskers in town? And then I watched Alex Cowley, he was amazing, blah blah blah, and then shared a load of videos, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then I literally bumped into you a couple of days later, and you said, I've got this idea for a buskers night, and I was like, yeah, definitely up for it. And I said it to Ruby as well, and she was just like, I think it wasn't 2 or 3 seconds before she just went yes. So she just wants to get out playing and stuff. So and it was just finding a third person to do the night. And I asked Trevor Shimon because I did have Teresa McNulty in mind, but I think she's off to university because she is actually actively busking at the moment, and obviously that's the idea of it.
She's awesome.
Yeah, she's really good.
Yeah, she's very talented. There is so much talent over here. There really is. I've got to ask then, from the point of view of busking, Alex, I mean, how do you busk? Because you've got to get permission, I think, haven't you? How does it work?
Yeah, so you approach Douglas Town Management, who you're meant to do an audition, I think, for them to kind of see if they're happy with you and stuff. I just said I'd been in bands, and she said, okay, you should be okay. And then they give you a busker's license. You get given a link to a site where you book slots, and you're allowed to do something like 5 hours a week. And it runs I mean, in the UK, it's you turn up and you're allowed to do an hour, but there's no people just turn up and they kind of respect you do an hour, and then if someone else comes, you kind of move on and go somewhere else. But here you're booking specific times so that there's no it's really well managed. I think it's a good idea, and all the buskers seem to get along okay. There's no, we're all I love it. I'm so glad.
It's very different to a gig in a pub, isn't it?
It's a lot better. I don't know, it's a different audience. That's a better way of putting it. You get people, the response I've had has been really, really nice. And I love it. I think it's great. And
I think you have to be brave to do it, because you have to try and capture people's attention as what they're actually doing is hurrying through town and they're trying to go about their business.
Yeah.
So it's quite a hard thing to do, I'd imagine.
Yeah. Yeah. It's you're still kind of you like background music, but I think some people will stop and will listen for a bit. I've had that a bit, and that's quite nice. But yeah, it's not the same as just playing in a pub, for example, and everyone's there and they're not going anywhere. But I think your job is to try and capture people's attention, isn't it? It's to try and get people interested. But I think people just appreciate having music in the street as well.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, it stopped you in your tracks, Chris, and you were happy to stand there for an hour. What was it about Alex that made you stop?
I think I mean, he's an exceptional singer. I mean, he doesn't do himself enough credit, I think. But exceptional singer, playing some hits that I recognised. I mean, there was some, Foo Fighters in there and a Metallica number, and I thought, yeah, this guy's really good, and I'll see if he's going to play another one. And it was like playing my favourite kind of playlist. And yeah, I think, and it wasn't just myself as well. There were other people kind of stopping, and as I seen seeing Teresa yesterday, there was other people stopping now and just appreciating it. And it takes. I don't think I couldn't do it, just to sort of stand there and put yourself out there,
courage, doesn't it?
But we've got some great talent here on the island.
We
some
really
really
do.
really good talent.